Today, we're going to talk about the 5 biggest mistakes women make when joining the firearms community. I'm American Gun Chick, and it's Gun Day Monday. This video is brought to you by Fubar, the world's #1 online virtual bar, virtual chat room, where you can hang out and keep the party going. I'm going to go there after this video, so join me. Okay guys, let's get started. Let's get right down to the nitty-gritty of this. Number 1, buying a really small pea shooter 380 pistol. Kind of like this one right here. This is my 380 bodyguard. I actually made this mistake. Women will go into a gun shop, they'll see these tiny little guns. Oh, they're so cute, they're adorable. This would be perfect to throw in my purse, perfect to carry. It's the perfect size for my hands, it's just perfect. When actually, wrong. It's not perfect. It's probably the worst gun they could get because these little tiny guns tend to have so much recoil, they tend to beat up your hands. They're not weighted down at all. They're not fun to shoot. Rarely have I ever seen a girl, and we let girls test this gun out, this specific gun right here in our class. Rarely maybe only one out of the hundreds of women that we've trained liked this. So, you know, they'll go in there, they'll see a tiny little gun, oh, it's cute, it's nice, that's perfect, and they'll go and they'll buy it, and they'll take it to the range, they'll shoot it, they'll realize, wow, this gun really sucks, and I'm terrible with it. It's harder to shoot, harder to aim, it's beating up my hand, and it's just not comfortable to shoot, and I don't like it. And then they'll end up never shooting it again, and just thinking that maybe guns aren't for them. Okay, you can set it down now?
Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah. You don't like it? You can keep that one. Y'all can keep that one.
Or it's just, you know, not their thing, and then it just collects dust, and they just spent $500 on a, you know, dust collector pretty much. So yeah, a lot of women will fall for that little trick where they'll go in there and they'll get these little guns, and it happened to me and I had to learn the hard way. When in reality, you know, a full-size gun would be a lot more comfortable for them to shoot. So moral of the story, before you buy the gun, try the gun. Mistake number 2, and these aren't in exact order. So number 2 is listening to the man behind the counter, the salesman behind the counter at a gun shop. Those guys, let me just say something real quick. Some guys are really nice, they're really sweet. They'll help you out, they'll let you, you know, feel some of the guns, they'll answer your questions. But some of the guys that work at those gun shops don't know their elbow from their. And I'm sorry for cussing on here and being brash, but it's the truth. I mean, some of those guys on there, maybe their background was they were just in the military, but in the military they were a chef or they worked behind a computer, something like that. And so people think that they're just qualified to work at a gun shop, or they, you know, just got out of high school and their dad owns a gun shop or something like that. You know, it's not always going to be people with the most knowledge behind the counter. And, you know, it's just like going anywhere. There could be people, I've seen some people at gun shops that worked behind the counter picking up guns. Hey, can I try this one? They're like, sure, and their fingers on the trigger, they're muzzle sweeping everyone. I'm like, I've just realized that the people behind the counter, you know, it's just a job. It doesn't mean that they're that qualified on anything, really. And then, you know, sometimes they'll give you really bad advice. Like, you know, I've seen them recommend revolvers to some women. And then also recommending those tiny little guns that I just showed you, you know. That actually happened to me. One of the guys behind the counter was like, hey, we really recommend this Bodyguard 380. You know, a lot of women love them, and they'll do that to other people, recommending those little tiny pea shooters, 380s, that a lot of women tend to not like because they don't know any better and they just assume and think that they'll like that. You know, recommending terrible guns, terrible equipment, you know, like really not very good holsters, but they're trying to make a sale. Like, let's say they have some, you know, flash sale, or they have things on clearance and they're just trying to sell stuff to you. They're salesmen at the end of the day still. And they're like, hey, you know, you should get this crappy plastic holster and use it with your new revolver that you just bought from me. No. So yeah, that's number 2, is listening to the guy behind the counter. At the end of the day, you need to do your own research and look into things yourself. Don't always believe the guy that's trying to sell you something. And just a rule of thumb, this isn't always exact, but I did want to mention that any gun that you're purchasing, if you want to make sure you're getting a good quality gun, is going to be over $500. So just make sure and plan on spending at least $500 to get a good quality gun. Mistake number 3 is allowing your boyfriend to teach you how to shoot or give you classes, firearms classes. This one is a bad one too. I've seen this one a lot. I've had a lot of women come to my class and tell me, you know, I'm not a good shooter, or I don't learn good behind the gun, and you know, I'm a terrible shot. And I'm like, well, you know, have you taken any classes? And they're like, oh yeah, my boyfriend teaches me. And I'm like, okay, you're not a terrible shooter, and you're not a terrible learner, and you don't have any issues. It's your boyfriend. He's trying to teach you, and number one, he probably isn't qualified to teach you and doesn't know what he's talking about. And you know, I'm saying that without trying to hurt anyone's feelings, but I'm just being honest. A lot of boyfriends, they try to act like they're all, you know, bravado and big and bad, and oh, I know guns because I'm a man, and you know, I've been shooting my whole life. If you ever hear somebody say, I've been shooting my whole life, you should get away from that person and not shoot with that person, because those tend to be the most people I have noticed that break the most firearm safety rules. For whatever reason, I don't know, but that tends to be those people. And with couples, what I've seen is they tend to have shorter fuses with each other. So there's gonna be a lot of, you know, like, oh, I was doing it right, or this or that, and a lot of arguments back and forth. And even the highest level instructors that I've seen, they still take their wives to get taught by other people, other instructors. So, you know, there's a reason to that, and there's a reason why they don't teach them themselves either. So that is the biggest thing, is you don't want to be trying to learn from somebody that you are really close with like that. And number 4, assuming their CCW is enough training and is all they need. For those of you that don't know, when I say CCW, I mean a concealed carry permit. A lot of people, when they seek out training, that's the number one training that they seek out. They're like, oh, you know, does your training offer a CCW? They always are looking for it. That's a big mistake, because yes, that's great if if your state requires that and you want to carry. And it's great to learn the laws, and that will teach you the laws in your state specifically, but that is not enough to prepare you for an actual gunfight or an altercation. You need a lot more training than that. And, you know, a class like my class or the classes that I take, that is what gives you that. But, you know, a lot of women, and not just women, men too, just people in general, assume that that's enough, and that is what they need. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, that if you're looking for training and your first question is, oh, is it a CCW class, or you're looking for a CCW class, just know that that is not enough, and you need a lot more than that. Are you gonna know how to tap rack and get back in the fight when you have a malfunction? Are you gonna know how to come out of cover and use cover when you're in a gunfight? Are you gonna know how to do speed reloads and emergency reloads while moving your feet? You know, the mindset, the tactics, all those things. The CCW class is not gonna teach you that. It's gonna make sure you basically can shoot decent enough to where you're not gonna, you know, shoot yourself or somebody else on accident. And you basically know the laws, but that's all that it's gonna teach you, and you're not gonna know any more than that. And mistake number 5, carrying in your purse. I say this one because I've seen a lot of women out there that choose to carry in their purse and only carry in their purse because they're not quite comfortable carrying on their body, or they just assume that when crap hits the fan, their purse will be right there and they can get it out of their purse, out of their holster, and get to business, which does not work, and it will slow you down and probably get you killed. I will say this, there are times, I will admit, where, you know, I might be wearing a really nice dress, we're going somewhere really nice, maybe I'm going to the beach, or something is going on to where I'm wearing something very skimpy and I can't really carry my gun on me. So in that situation, I do carry in my purse, because there are times where it's either my purse or nothing, and I'd rather have it in my purse. Is it dumb? Is it not the smartest? Yeah, but that's really the only option that I have. If I do have an option to where I can carry my gun on me, then I'm definitely carrying my gun no matter what. I'm not choosing my purse. Sometimes we host classes that are force on force classes, which are putting you in scenarios and situations that are real life situations, and giving you simunition rounds with real pistols, but of course simunition rounds, and seeing how you react, and pretty much testing your abilities and your skills and putting you in the fight. And there is a situation where we make girls carry in their purse just to see what they would do and see their reaction time, and nobody got their gun out on time, and everybody was, you know, fumbling with their gun in their purse, and it was just a big ordeal, and it was really hard for them to, you know, be prepared and be ready. All right, so those are the 5 mistakes women make when they join the firearms community for the first time. If you think I missed anything, leave a comment down below and let me know. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate comments from people in the military probably, and those lifelong shooters that think they know everything, but they don't. They don't know everything, they don't know anything actually. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys at the next Gun Day Monday. Now I know I'm gonna get a comment that says, never take advice from a gun YouTuber, but go and look at their page or look at their profile and see if they have any accolades that are better than mine. And then if they do, then take their advice. And if they don't, then shut the hell up. All right guys, now I wanna tell you all about fubar. Go to fubar.com, click the link down below, and go to fubar, make a profile, and it will automatically add you as a friend to me so we can chat back and forth, have some fun. Fubar's an awesome virtual world where you can go on there and buy each other drinks, listen to a band, chat back and forth in the chat room, and just socialize and have a good time. I'm gonna be there for the after party after this video, and I think we might have a few more photos that we can sign for you guys. So if you do go and add me as a friend, I will personalize a signed photo to you and send it to you. So yeah, go join. There's nothing to lose but everything to gain. So go join Fubar.